Hello everybody, this is video number 3. I've done quite a bit of work this week since last week. Done a bunch of repotting as well as some organization of the plants. We'll start with the dragon fruit. As you can tell, it's in a large 5-gallon bucket now. It's also, I bound it to a fairly large piece of wood. I use duct tape, it's working really well. Basically, this cactus vine will attach itself and climb this board over time, and as you can tell, the cactus is actually bending around it. In only a matter of several days it's done this. So it's really seemingly it looks like it's actually liking that board to grab onto. It will sprout out little arms to grab, hold, and I'm pretty excited to see it doing so well. Here's the banana again. Banana's looking really good. It's got some nice new growth going out the top. The little ones under here are actually coming along nicely. They're also showing a lot of new growth, and I'm gonna spend some time this week cleaning up some of these dead hanging limbs. Alright, so here's the jackfruit number 1. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned, but this is an unknown cultivar, but he is doing really well. All the new growth on all the branches. It's looking good. I did put mulch, a decent layer of mulch through on most, if not all, of these pots. It's supposed to really help keep the pots from drying out during the heat of the day. Here's the little Sapodilla. Looking really good. Everything seems to really be liking the new pots. Here's the avocado. I did lose a branch on the avocado. It was actually right there. Basically, the end of it died and it turned black, and the black spread halfway down the branch, and I wanted to cut it off before it got to the main trunk. So, but other than that, looking really good. Let's go over to the mango. Mango's looking really nice. All the new growth that you guys have seen now is kind of maturing. It's not really the red color it was. Now it's a nice bright green, and it will be turning darker green here. There's the 4 peaks. Now, one thing that I will mention that I'm very pleased with is the way that these split. What it's done is it's given me the 4 peaks, as you can see, and they're actually all pointing in different directions, and that's going to work out really nice for me. It's going to be a nice development for the canopy. What I'm going to do down the line a little bit is I'm going to cut the tops off of all of these and let them hopefully split out again. Another 4 off of each leaf would be really nice. So here's the big guava. New pot. It's looking good. No new growth to speak of. All of these that you can see have gotten longer. So it's just continuing to thrive. Here's the little guava. I actually put him in a new pot as well, and I have a bamboo sturdy stick going up, holding them straight up, and it's looking very good. Just same as the other one, just new growth, just getting bigger. Alright, so here's quite a bit of new potting here as well. So let's start with this guy. This is one of the sugar apples. He's in his new pot. He's doing good. He lost a few leaves during the transplant, but he's bounced back nicely. Here's the Jackfruit number 2, which is actually standing on his own, doing really good. This bottom branch on it, right there, I'm really beginning to believe that's going to be a second trunk. I think eventually it's going to actually become as tall as this, and then I'll probably have to cut the top off to promote some additional horizontal growth. I'm very happy with it so far. So here's the fig. Looking good. The fig seems to be a slow grower, but really nice and green. So here's starfruit number. Sugar apple number 2. Just really nice and healthy. This one was not transplanted. He was actually in this pot from the beginning. So sugar apple number 3. This one was transplanted. He didn't really show too much stress like the other one did. Behind him is the pineapple. Top of it's growing in more and more. Looking good. So here's one of the blueberries in a new pot. I actually thinned it out significantly. I took a bunch of the dead branches off, all the old dried fruit off, and it's actually doing good. All bright green, it's new growth. I do have a couple spots on it that I need to address. I will do that shortly after this video. Here's starfruit number 1, unknown cultivar. Everything's wide open on it. It's looking really nice. It's in the new pot as well. This one did not take any kind of hit. It just picked up right where it left off. Looking very healthy. Starfruit number 2 is looking good. This is the Carry. This is the one that was actually flowering when I first started these. looking now, we have definite signs of pollinated fruit. And quite a bit of it as well. Some of those are fairly large. I have noticed though, looking down, like there's one right here that's actually fallen off. I don't know why they're doing that. It's clearly a natural move. There's another one. So I'm not going to worry about it. There's still a bunch of them on the tree. Hopefully we get at least one or two that actually matures. Okay. So here is the lychee. The lychee's looking good. There was a little bit of what looks to me like struggle with a few of these branches. This one in particular. It overall still looks healthy. We have these nice lush patches here, down here off that piece, over here on this side, as well as this main push off the main trunk. So overall, I'd say it's still looking really good. Check out the papaya. New bucket. The papaya is doing good. It did lose a limb, and some of these seem a bit droopy. But what keeps exciting me is when I look inside in the middle here, it's constant new growth. And if I can actually get in there, I mean, it's just, it looks to me like it's about to just sprout a bunch of these new limbs out. So and down here's pretty cool too. You got little ones coming out. So overall, it's looking good. Here's Washington Naval. Let me take a look here. I did get some spray, and I sprayed this down a couple times now to try to help with the leaf miner issue that I was dealing with. You can see right there, for example, was some of the damage. And since I've done that, I've noticed a huge difference. There's a lot of really nice looking leaves like those. All this over here, these are all going to just be normal, healthy leaves. Seems to really be helping. Let's take a look at the red navel while we're on that topic. Red navel is actually going through a bit of a spurt. As you can see, all these here are all new growth. Again, it's looking good. I don't see very many of those little moths. I do see some ladybugs, which are really good. All the plush new growth. It's looking all good. So let's go back to over here. This one down here is next, and that's actually, this is blueberry bush number 2 in a new pot. It's looking really good. This one's actually got a significant amount of new growth, more than the other one. It's actually growing kind of towards the side, which is not too big of a deal. Nice thick stalk on it. So overall, looking good. Here's the pomegranate. It's looking nice and tall. I'm not exactly sure when this fruits or flowers. I will do a little bit of research, so hopefully next month I'll have a better idea of when to expect something out of this. I certainly think it's big enough to start producing flowers and fruit. Just it's not the right time of the year. So here's the Tropic Beauty Peach. It's looking good. Close look at the ends of it. Usually there's a bunch of little ants and other critters running along here. What about over here? Yeah, there's some ants and stuff on it. It's all part of a healthy system. It's very cool. So finally we got the big Sapodilla, which is in the new bucket. This one actually probably took the biggest hit during the transplant. This one, when I transplanted it, it went all the way, the entire root system was exposed, as unfortunate as that sounds. And it got all droopy. There was no real color change, but very noticeably droopy, and it actually gave me quite a bit of a scare. But in a matter of a day and a half, it turned it right around. I just watered it heavily. So last week we noticed that there was the flower bud in the center of the screen there forming. Looks like it's gotten a little bigger. Still looks very good. I was very glad to see that did not drop. And today I noticed I have a second flower right there. Bud forming. That's what it's going to do. On the ends it's going to bud out. Flower's going to form. That'll be the fruit. So got a lot of growth on the edges. Just these long ones are going to be new branches up here at the top. Those are all going to be branches. These kind of grow a little bit odd. As you probably can tell, they kind of branch out, and then they have some vertical growth, and then they branch out again, and then they have some vertical growth, and then they branch out again. And up here are going to be all these branches. And I'm debating on actually cutting the top off of this once it gets a little bigger, and I can see exactly when those branches stop forming. I want as many branches as I can get. That's going to be where the fruit is. Okay, well, thank you very much. This is what it looks like right now. We'll do another one next week. Bye now.